So it's finally happening. Shikamaru is actually doomed. It turns out that a prognostication was actually correct because in the previous chapter, we predicted that something wrong might really happen with Shikamaru, specifically because he might be marked as a result of the confrontation which happened between him and Code. And that's exactly what is happening here. So hello and welcome to WhyZ and thank you so much for joining in. Today we are going to talk about Shikamaru's role or Shikamaru's approach in Boruto Chapter 68. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's just quickly jump into the video. Now right out of the bat, let me make this very clear that yes, the last chapter, not just me, I mean literally the entire fandom predicted that okay, Shikamaru has been marked. There was this one particular panel which I specifically talked about where he got the mark basically on his back, as you can see here in this particular picture, but it seems like that might be just a normal crease. As I talked about in my previous video, I was not entirely sure if this was the only place or not, but yeah, we definitely knew that Shikamaru was marked, if not here, somewhere else. And that's exactly what is happening in this particular chapter. So pretty much this chapter is actually titled Mark, which is a reference to the mark that Code put on the neck of Shikamaru. And yes, Code has marked Shikamaru's neck and it has been showcased throughout the entire chapter. In one particular panel, we can actually see Code and Demon listening to the conversations that Shikamaru is actually happening. Basically what Shikamaru is trying to talk with every character who are currently present in the scene. In this chapter we find out that they are having a discussion about Kawaki, how they need to deal with Kawaki, yada yada yada, you know the usual deal, especially considering how Shikamaru is quite wary of Kawaki's entire predicament and how now he's even more unsure as to how they need to deal with the Kawaki situation, because frankly speaking, they do not have the strength to restrain him anymore, and he's absolutely angry and agitated at Amado for going against the back of Konoha and giving Kawaki the karma mark back. Amado retorts to this by saying that what's the matter with it, Kawaki now has the power to protect the Lord 7th. But still, obviously this is a huge concern for the entire village and specifically Shikamaru and how he has dealt with the entire situation. We can definitely understand his point of view here, but this man just can't catch a break. From the very moment Amado appeared in the story, he has been dealing a lot. He dealt with the entire bomb threat for his own son, and now he has become basically a toy for the villains. He's being kicked around by every single person. Even in the last arc or in the last couple of chapters, we saw how Code essentially took him as a prisoner, as a hostage, and he was just kicking Shikamaru around like anything. We thought for a very long time, we thought that Shikamaru is definitely going to die because of the entire predicament, but Code just is not very sharp of a villain, so he just kicked Shikamaru away. But then again, we knew that things are not just going to be merry and jolly for Shikamaru. This man is doomed to the very end, and that's exactly on display for Boruto Chapter 68 as well, because in the entire chapter he's having conversations with various different characters from Naruto and even the returning Sasuke as well. But because of all of these things, it leads him to Amado's lab. He goes to Amado to have a discussion, or rather a heated debate over the entire Kawaki situation, and that's the trigger moment. That's the moment which Code and everyone was waiting for, because using his claw marks which is present on Shikamaru's neck, Code is able to arrive directly inside Amado's lab. He's able to infiltrate all the defenses of Konoha and he's able to sneak right inside the village directly at Amado's lab. And obviously he's going for the most important thing here, which is telling Amado to remove his limiter. Amado is absolutely taken aback by all of these things, and eventually that leads us to Delta's awakening and also Ada directly confronting Amado after a very long time. But in the end, the point remains that Shikamaru is doomed. I do believe for 100% fact here that something bad is going to happen for this character very soon. Initially thought that maybe he's going to die, but his death really won't have a lot of consequence in the story. We have seen a lot of deaths in the Boruto series. I mean, there's not a lot of death, but we have seen quite a lot of deaths which don't really have a lot of meaning in the actual story, specifically considering the entire Kurama situation. Yeah, it was sad for maybe a chapter or two, but from that point onwards, we have not seen any development whatsoever. So I don't necessarily feel like Shikamaru's death is going to cause any permanent changes or meta changing events in the actual story. It's not just going to have any major impact whatsoever, and it's just going to be a wasted death for a character as important as Shikamaru. But instead, I feel like owing to the entire Naruto Sasuke situation, Shikamaru is definitely going to lose something very soon. He's going to be attacked, maybe he's going to lose an eye, maybe he's going to lose a limb, or whatever. He is definitely going to lose something, keeping in accordance with the entire Naruto Sasuke situation, because other than Naruto and Sasuke from the older generation, none of the other characters have appeared as much as Shikamaru. Ino has maybe appeared a couple of times, but her role is just delegated to the sensory corps and nothing more than that. And beyond her, beyond these characters mostly, we have not seen any major character from the older generation. So the only other person in line for all of these things is definitely Shikamaru. So keeping all of these things in mind, or keeping all of these things in hindsight, I feel like something bad might be happening to Shikamaru pretty soon, especially considering how the last couple of chapters have sort of led up to his apparent death. Like, we got some cliffhangers about how he was captured by Code and now he was marked by Code, and how he's the person who is directly leading Code, Ada and the others inside Amado's lab, which is going to have major repercussions for the upcoming story as well. But overall, seeing the entire scenario, I can just say that poor Shikamaru, he just can't catch a break. This man can't catch a break. He has been going through so much of shit, and I just feel sad looking at him at this particular moment. I know Boruto has been going through a lot of different things as well. We have talked about it, but I think that Shikamaru is also going through a lot of shit, and he is practically doomed at this particular moment. So that's pretty much everything which happened for him in Boruto Manga Chapter 68. What do you guys think about all of these things? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. Also, please join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and join the Discord server for more. This is WhyZ, and I'll see you all on the next one.